Welcome. We are going to find out some star-busting Fontaines DC recording tricks. So here's the thing. I've searched the internet long and hard to find out tricks Fontaines DC used when recording their music. And the truth is, there's not a lot out there. But in this show, we're going to cover these three things. Number one of the craziest guitar tricks I've ever heard. Number two, an insane recording process that's so rigorous you can't believe it. And number three, I found out a bit where Carlos said he might even start using KEYTARS. Also, I just want to say this video drops on World Whisky Day, so slandravant everyone. Of course, this is Whisky and Synths. Let's celebrate it. And in the month of May, we have World Whisky Day and World Synth Day, so it's pretty much Whisky and Synths months. Let's go. So this is the super weird guitar trick Fontaines DC used. They described it like having a sixth member of the band. They actually said, we added in a few new pedals, amps and guitars to inject a bit of confusion again. They said Dan Carey, who's their collaborator and producer for ages, takes the feed from the bass and guitars, puts them through a mini mixing desk, through loads of effects, and as they play the song, he's messing with that, and it's even sidechained to the kick drum, so it's pumping along. So they've got this crazy effects amp in the room mic'd up that Dan is almost playing with the effects pedals. So this is something you could try yourself in a live moment if you use like sort of splitter cables and split the signal into different effects pedals and a different amp in the corner. Or if that's too much to do in the moment, once you've got everything tracked, reamp the guitars and bass through an effects pedal board, mess around with it. It's going into an amp, it's mic'd up, and you're recording that back in as a new track into your DAW. And I'm guessing this isn't like a huge loud thing in the mix. It's fed into the mix as this bed of craziness and chaos. So what is this insane and rigorous recording process that Fontaines DC used? Well, it actually came about with their producer Dan Carey working with Warmduscher, another band that if you know Fontaines, you probably know them. If you don't, check them out. And he said on Whale City in 2018, they had a really limited time and money and we had to make it quickly. And he thought as an experiment, let's record side A in one take, which is kind of crazy. They agreed if there's any mistakes, they'd go back to the top of the take, delete everything they've already done, and then start again. And that pressure on the band meant they were propelled into performing in ways they might never have realized if they recorded in a more conventional way. He said on side A, they went back to the start 2 or 3 times. Then on the 4th time, they got it amazing. But on the last song, there was a mess up. And he said, right, we've got to go back to the start. And everyone looked at him like he was totally crazy, but they did it anyway. And this tension in the room, it kind of creates this complete entity rather than a collection of songs. And of course, they did overdubs on it later, like added the proper vocals in later, maybe other layers of guitar. But having that foundation of this like tense, all in one take is really unconventional, but Dan Carey, the producer, is used to that. And he said he did that with Fontaines DC as well. Now, Fontaine said Dan did bring that expedience to the process. He essentially set up the room as a practice space with microphones and was like, play your whole album for me now. And we'd get stuck twice maybe during the whole album, figured out what it was, then move on. And the whole album was pretty much tracked in a week. It's something you could try and replicate, but I think the key here is being rehearsed, super rehearsed to be able to do this. But the thing is, when it comes to recording techniques, it's not just about the technical side of it. It's about capturing a moment. It's like, you know, when you take a photograph at the right moment and that is like, that photo is amazing. Recording is a little bit like that. So yeah, you can use these kind of brain techniques and tricks and strategies to try and do something different in the studio and capture something amazing. Are you daring enough to use that technique? Let me know in the comments. So I want to say thank you by giving you a free gift if you've watched this far already. Slandravant. If you're struggling with your own music and especially getting mixed, you know, are you that producer who's always like, I can always hear more, or I'm just not done with it yet? And then next thing you know, 4 hours later, you're still EQing a snare. Well, you need a bit of a process, and I've put together a step-by-step guide, 4-step PDF. It's just 4 steps in a PDF where you can get it for free and follow it to fix your mix. Fix your mix. And I also guarantee it, because I think it's so good, if you follow that and struggle, there's an offer in there for a free Zoom call with me where I'll take 30 minutes out of my schedule, chat to you about your mix, and give you personalized feedback as well. So hope that helps you. Let's get back to the episode. So are Fontaines DC going to start using KEYTARS? That would be mad, but it was mentioned in an interview. So recently, Carlos has been using the Mellotron, which is a really expensive, cool, like synth type keyboard, where originally you press down on a key and it triggers tape loops. The Beatles even used it back in the day. Beach Boys, it's a legendary instrument, and I think he's using the more modernized version of it. He's also got a small modular synth rig as well. You'll notice that in the live videos. And Carlos said, I've been using this little keyboard a lot on the tour. It's the Yamaha Reface, Yamaha CP Reface to be exact. That's the one in the interview mentioned, although I think he's tried other ones since in the same Yamaha series. It's like a 3-octave little keyboard that emulates a Rhodes and Wurlitzer. It's got brilliant effects built into it, simple effects, and this is something Carlos loves, pushing effects to the limits. And he said, if you know how to push them in a certain way, you get really interesting sounds of it. It's been like a really exciting texture to have in a stripped back setting. And Connor was in the same interview and he said, you're going to turn it into a KEYTAR, aren't you? And Carlos was like, I'm going to turn it into a KEYTAR, yeah. So I'm guessing that was a joke, but it's straight from the horse's mouth. Can you imagine Fontaines walking on stage at Glastonbury or something and they're literally just rocking KEYTARs? It'd be like the funniest move ever with the cheesiest... sorry, KEYTAR players, but it's cheesiest instrument ever. So yeah, I'm not sure if that'll happen or not, but it is a good thing that a guitar band like Fontaines DC are using all these cool extra sounds in their productions, and you can try it too. So to wrap this up, I'm just going to say Slanjava, happy World Whisky Day, you clan of music making legends. If you love this video, you're going to love the other one popping up on the screen now. It's really going to help you with your music making even more. Whisky.